Today on Chem in 3, we look at how to solve some more difficult problems involving Hess's Law. Let's move in and take a closer look.
And these problems are focused primarily on these two learning outcomes in the IB chemistry syllabus. First, the understanding that the average bond enthalpy is the energy needed to break 1 mole of a bond in a gaseous molecule averaged over similar molecules. And then, of course, the all-important application of Hess's Law to calculate enthalpy changes. So here we have this question from a past exam, where you're provided with the data shown here, and you are required to calculate the average bond enthalpy in kilojoules per mole for the CF bond. Stop here and see if you can solve this problem. And now let's take a look at the answer to the problem. And you need to use the equations provided. But before using those equations, you would need to lay out an equation like this one here to represent the average bond enthalpy of the CF bond in the CF4 molecule. And this equation represents this. Of course, you'd have to bear in mind that when you get the answer for this, you'll have to divide by 4 to get the average bond enthalpy, the energy associated with the average of the 4 bonds, whereas this equation gives the total enthalpy associated with breaking the 4 bonds. So you'd have to divide the final answer by 4. But before you can get to that, you have to rearrange these equations so you can cancel. So rearranging all of these equations, multiplying this one by 2, you would be able to solve. And the final answer would come to 428 kilojoules per mole. Now I'd like you to consider this question. And as you consider it, I want you to be aware that there are 3 possible approaches to solving this question. One involving this equation, another involving this Hess's Law diagram, and the third one involving the cancellation method of rearranging equations. Stop here and try to solve this problem. And here you can see I've presented you with 3 different approaches to solving this question. Stop and look at each method and choose the one that's best for you.